next item on the agenda, I believe, is now no longer necessary because I understand the governor has vetoed the language that we were going to be discussing. And so it's not necessary to get into that discussion.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Next item on the agenda is consideration of a motion to go into executive session to conduct the annual performance evaluation of the executive director in accordance with RS 4217A1. We have a motion.
Second.
And a second. Take a roll call, please, ma'am.
Leonard Knapp.
For.
Harold Perry. Robert Muir.
For.
Jared Rickey.
Yes.
And you, Lspc.
Yes.
Need a motion?
Ready?
Ready? We back on?
Yes. Entertain a motion to come back into public session.
I would so move that we come back into public session.
My second.
We have a motion and multiple seconds. We have to take a roll call.
Leonard Knapp.
Yes.
Robert Muir.
Yes.
Harold Perry.
Yes.
Jared Rickey.
Yes.
You, Lspc.
Yes. Okay, we went into executive session to conduct the annual performance evaluation, but as I appreciate it, we will be deferring that till next meeting, if that is some of the desire, and entertain a motion to do so.
So move that defer action on this until the August meeting. I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Item 6, subparagraph 6 is consideration of a motion to grant the chairman of the State Police Commission the authority to conduct fiscal year 2020-2021 performance planning session with the executive director on behalf of the commission. I will make a motion to reject assigning that task to the chairman and to have the entire commission take part in that planning session.
I will second that.
Any discussion? Okay, y'all not gonna make me beg, good. All in favor of rejecting the suggestion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Item 7, opportunity to address the commission by employees or others on matters not on the agenda. Did we receive any requests?
No, Mr. Chairman, we did not.
Having no requests, we'll move to item 8, the director's report.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as always, we have included a list of the expenditures under your binders. It's behind big tab number 7. We're still in the process of closing out the fiscal year, so things are still getting updated, but we'll have a final picture of how we closed out this unusual year. That should be ready for the August meeting, the final numbers for the year.
Even though not completed, I suspect things are still looking like on track for the budget.
Correct. They are, Mr. Chairman.
Anything else?
Is there, what is the, is tab 5?
Tab 5, that was related to the consideration of the motion to approve performance evaluation of the director, and that was just some background information regarding the pay range and pay structure that was adopted at the October 2019 meeting. Should there have been questions about the impact of a successful rating and the corresponding annual increase. Any other questions on that? The other items I have on the director's report, that's regarding the development and review of rules. Again, at the last meeting, you asked to begin reviewing the Chapter 21 emergency rules regarding the use of paid leave and work to incorporate those possible revisions for consideration by the September meeting. I believe this work will be impactful in also addressing the hybrid attendance models that many schools are proposing across the state. The concept of virtual school attendance is going to be a disruption for many state employees dealing with having to balance work expectations and potential students being home 50% of the time based on models that are being proposed. And what also complicates the issue is it's my understanding that the Families First Coronavirus Response Act might not permit the use of FMLA for parents utilizing virtual instruction. So there's some potential issues there that parents that choose to use virtual instruction might not be completely covered and might need to rely on their paid leave balances should they need to be out. And so, again, I'm going to be researching the matter further, and I'll report back to you. And then, any questions? And then finally, an update on the promotional exam for 2020. And I can start with the good news. The Office of State Police is making progress on the last remaining prerequisite course component, which is the leadership module that was delayed because of the COVID-19 shutdown of many of the offices and trainings at State Police. Individuals that have applied to take the promotional exam have to complete that core component because it's also in the examination materials. But that coursework is underway, and it appears to be on schedule to be completed prior to the end of July, which is the time frame that we had discussed with the Office of State Police. Now, the less than good news is that the state's reported COVID-19 numbers are not progressing in a way that is enabling us to enter phase 3 of the reopening. And this has impaired our ability to enter into agreements with computer testing locations across the state, namely LSU in Baton Rouge. They're not committing to, which is the largest center we use for computer-based testing for the promotional exam. And as of yesterday evening, it appears that that the electronic promotional exam option is going to be off the table for August as scheduled, as planned. So, however, again, as of last night, we are going to switch gears and plan to pivot to using a paper-based promotional exam. So we're going to switch gears. Now, we're not going to have the instant feedback result that we've had the last couple of years, but it appears that it's going to be the best option to move forward with the test so that individuals can, now that they've completed the leadership module in July, we can keep on track for August, issue the 2020 promotional exam, and allow individuals to have their scores for promotional opportunities within the department. Because those opportunities are available, but if you don't have a valid score or you don't have a passing score, it's being excluded from those opportunities. I think it's more important that we move forward with getting that examination administered. And also, it looks like the best option at the moment would be able to, that if we could hold the exam on the DPS compound using multiple rooms, socially distanced, and again with multiple sessions during the day. But again, this is a new development, and I'm going to formalize the dates so we can make an announcement so individuals can plan to be available for those test dates. And I'm trying to do that for next week so that, we can hit our target of an early August exam date. So,
We don't need to approve that date, right?
no, sir.
Just do that.
Yes.
This is
Working
more,
my seats.
excuse me, this is more of a statement rather than a question, but thank you for all your efforts in this matter. When it comes to employees, this is probably, in the midst of the pandemic, there's a lot of promotional opportunities that are available and will be available as people retire, et cetera. So thank you for all your efforts in trying to figure out a way possible that incorporates the integrity of the test, but also dealing with the situation that we have. So thank you.
That concludes my report.
Did we get any feedback on how many of our troopers and so forth were affected by the virus over this period of time?
I have not actually communicated with DPS HR on that. I know that's a pending item that I do plan to get for you, and I will have that information. I'll reach out to DPS HR this week to work on that.
On that note, Jason, there there appears to be some type of, or a lot of confusion in regards to the department and HR as far as what type of leave, if you're positive for COVID, if there's recently there's a 15-day leave available. I don't know if it's coming from the federal government. We have a code for now. But there's also workman's comp issues and first report of infection, I'm calling it, instead of injury. So there's a lot of different things that are on the table that's very confusing for the employee and even for HR right now. So where and how we can get clarification for the employee would be greatly appreciated. But there definitely needs to be some coordination between the department and HR, because eventually some of these hours that are job related that are not being covered by the workman's comp or this special leave that potentially we'd be addressing after this pandemic is over.
When I reach out to DPS HR, I'll also bring up the issues.
Thank you.
Have we extended the emergency stuff? Have we authorized you to do that? I think,
Correct. And the sunset isn't until this Saturday, but yes, it hasn't been officially published in a general circular, but via your last vote at last month's meeting, the commission authorized emergency rules to be extended through September 15th. And so that will be communicated in the general circular.
Looks like we need to, at the next meeting, maybe look at potential further extension for that.
Correct.
Depending on what happens to Ryan.
Correct.
that's what I was thinking.
Absolutely.
I
So,
don't think we're going to be out of this.
and since we no longer have a hearing scheduled for the August meeting, I believe bringing things to the table regarding this leave and other items regarding leave and information for the benefit of the trooper.
What's the date in August that we have?
We have it's the second Thursday of the month in October. I don't have it in
No, for August.
So August 13th will be our next meeting, and we'll work to gather as much information as possible.
I'm going to have a different placement on the 28th if they allow voluntary.
Of July or?
In July 28th.
Okay.
And so, they're on mobile by that time. May have to do it by Zoom.
We might have to dust off that Zoom camera to see what we can do. All right. Well, thank you for that.